Hello, friends, in the series of learning AWS Cloud. So, today we are going to focus on understanding how we can launch the Linux instances in the AWS Management Console. And after launching those instances, how we can provide the remote access to these instances using the PuTTY tool. So, let's begin this session by understanding the agenda of the entire tutorial today. So first, we will launch an Linux instance, okay, in the AWS Management Console. We will do it in the EC2 dashboard. So I will provide you a step-by-step guide to understand how we can launch the EC2 AMI within just a minute. Then after that, after launching the instance, then we will launch this particular instance in the PuTTY tool, and we will be able to provide the remote access to this instance. Later on, we will also cover this important aspect because majority of the students got stuck here, because when we are using the AWS console and when we are launching the instances using the AWS console, we always have to work with a private key. So this part I will explain you when I will be using the live demonstration. But for the time being, for understanding this third point, I am just making you aware of the things. So basically, this private key that you have to keep it in your local machine, right? So it need to be secured in all manner. So this key is basically having the extension .pem, the private and this private key. But actually, when we are using the Linux instances, it basically works in SSH. So we need to convert this instance, this particular private keys extension from the PEM to the PPK in order to use it in the PuTTY tool. So we will have a thorough discussion of how we can do that in this particular tutorial. So lastly, the important aspect here is what are the basic tools required in order to perform or in order to learn today's session. The first thing, must have access to your management console. You can use your free tier account also, as well as if you are present in the educate account, and if your instructor has created any class for you, then you can log in through there through your workbench account, right, or the Vocarium account, you could say that. Otherwise, you can also enable your starters account in the AWS. So these are the basic things through which you can access the AWS Management Console. So after accessing that, you also have the PuTTY tool installed on your local machine, as well as the PuTTY Gen tool should also be in there. So PuTTY is basically for providing the remote access to your Linux instance, and PuTTY Gen we will use to convert that extension of the private key from the PEM to PPK. So let's dive into the management console in order to gain more insight of the things. So here I am into the management console. So the first thing we need to do is to get into the EC2 dashboard. So in order to go there, you have to click on the services portion. Under the services, you can see that under the compute, you are getting the EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute Service, right? So once you will click here, the EC2 dashboard will be available in front of you, and the entire description of the resources which are available at this point of time to you will be appeared here. So right now there is no instance running in my console. So the purpose is that we will first of all launch the instance. So let's begin with launching the instance. So before that, let me check like the region where I am working with. So this is the default region being associated to me, US East. This I am into the North Virginia region with US East 1 as the availability zone. So let's launch the instance. Launching the instance will take few steps. So the very first step is to choose the machine image. So basically the virtual machines which we are requiring, which we require to launch in the Amazon Management Console are usually being called as the AMIs. Okay. So that's why the AMI simply means the Amazon machine image. These are just the another names of the virtual machines. So you can see that there are so many VMs which are available for me during my free tier, right? So right now my sole agenda is to launch the Linux instance. So I'm going for this Linux 2 AMI, which is having all these specifications available. So for the time being, I'm simply selecting it. Now the next step is the instance type, which I wanted to use here. So I can only work in the free tier eligible. So in the free tier, there is only general purpose family being available for my instance types. Otherwise, you can see that there are a number of instance types available depending upon the type of instance you wanted to launch, whether you want it to be storage optimized, memory optimized, machine learning, ASIC instance, GPU, FPGA. You can just click on them and you will get the better information about what kind of these instances are, right? So as I'm clicking here on the general purpose, I can get the glimpse that these instances provide a balance of the compute memory and the network resources and are basically considered the good choice for many applications. So this is something important that you should be able to know, that what is the instance type that you are going to choose. So just because we are working in the free tier account, so I will keep it as it is and just going to configure the instance detail, which is the third step. So here I can provide certain information. I can configure certain changes into my instances. Like, what if I require that number of instances, the similar kind of instances, instead of one, it should be two. So I can provide and this as well, right? So the network, right now we haven't covered the VPC part. So the by default network which is available to us, we will consider. Similarly, all the things I am just keeping it by default because we are directly learning how we can launch the instance. So the next step is we need also to provide the storage facility to this instance. So by default, the storage ability is of the storage is of 8 GB available, which is general purpose SSD. So okay, I am keeping it as it is. So in case you are working at a developer side, you can also add some tag here for the production and what is the value you can provide accordingly. So this is an optional tool. The next step is you have to configure the security groups. So by default, just because this is the Linux instance, the rule should be it always works under the SSH. So by default, just as per the type of the Linux instance, this security group rule has already been created for us. Okay, so I'm not going to make any changes into it. So I'm just proceeding next, right? Then this is the last review part. I haven't made any changes into that, so directly I'm going to configure with the launch part. Now this is something important to understand here. See, when you have selected the launch option, there is a new dialog box appear in front of you, so which is depicting that select an existing key pair or create a new key pair. So this is the key pair which I was explaining you, that you need to store or to reserve, securely reserve a private key which has been generated by this AWS platform for us, for in order to access your resources or instances in near future. So we will be a key pair basically consists of public key that AWS stores and the private key files that you store. So definitely the private key I would be having, the public key you should be having. So for both Windows AMI, the private key file is required to obtain the password used to log in your instance. And for Linux, the private key allows you to securely SSH into your instance. So that's why we need this key. Okay. So I am going to create a new key pair for you so that we should have better idea of how we can provide that key pair when we are launching the instances at the remote level. So I can provide any key pair name here. So the key pair is just the key pair. I am just providing the name key pair 1. So the important aspect is that you should be downloading this. So now just download the key pair 1 file. I am keeping it here. See, the file type which it is getting saved is the PEM file. So I'm going to save this file as the key pair 1 as the PEM file. So it is stored here in my machine. Now only the launch instance option is enabled for me. So I am launching the instance. So it will take only a minute to launch the instance. So once you will click on the instance ID, you can see that the entire instance summary is available in front of you, right? Each and everything. Now my point is that now I wanted to launch this instance in my SSH. For that I need putty, but in order to go into the putty tool, I need to do perform one more task here. So I have to convert the .pem file into the ppk file. Now, reason why I need that is, let me show you first of all that reason. In order to go into the putty tool, so you have to provide the host name. So host name is always this public IPv4 DNS. Just copy it and paste it here. Okay. Now after this, after providing the host name or the IP address, so you have to click on this SSH. Under the SSH, you have to go to the auth part, authorization. So once you will click here, now they are asking the private key file for authentication. So once you will browse it, you can see that they are only asking me for .ppk file. Okay, so these are the specialized files or the specialized private key files extensions that are required in the SSH. So right now I am having it a new key, but we have installed a key pair. Key pair 1 was the name of the file, right? Key pair 1. So we will look for that. That key pair 1 file is present here. See, right? So we need to convert it first of all into the ppk extension. Only then we can use it here to launch this instance. So in order to do that, I am writing here puttygen. This is the key generator, you could say that. So how we will proceed? We are about to load the existing private key file. So we will click on the load part, and here we will go with the all files, and the name of my file was the keypair1.pem. This was the name of my file. Opening it. Okay, so it has imported the foreign key. Now this is the important step. Now where we want to save this generated key, so we will go there, save private key. Yes. And how we are going to save it now? Putty key, putty private key files, right? So I will give it a name as new key pair 1. So this is what is the name I have provided. So I have saved it. My job is all done. So now is the time when I am having the facility to launch the instance. So go to the putty tool again. I need to provide this v4 IPv4 DNS. I have copied it, pasted here, going to SSH, clicking here, going to the auth part. Now, if I will browse, I can see this new key pair 1, which I have just created right now, is available. So I'm opening it, open it, and now they are going to ask me the question, okay, it is a security alert. I am aware. So once you are been provided the access to the this terminal, now you always have to log in here as EC2-user. This is the login name. This is a by default login name which you need to apply. So as soon as you will apply this login name, you will be authenticated with the key that you have provided here. Okay. So you are authenticated, right? Everything is done. Now you can just let check that whether this thing is working. So I'm using this sudo su is the name of the command just to get into the super user mode. I'm pressing the enter. So from the EC2 user mode, now I am into the root mode. So congratulations, students. We are done with the work of launching an instance. Now you can use remotely access this instance and can use it for a number of purposes that you wanted to serve. Thank you so much for watching this session.